iPhone 15 is now official, and this is my totally honest take about it. The beginning, the new, the unchanged, and the ugly part about it. So let's start with the new. The iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus have now been brought a step forward ahead compared to when they first released in the 14 and the 14 Plus. The iPhone 14 and 14 Plus was more like a upgraded version of the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. But now the 15 and the 15 Plus have now been taking a step forward of the smartphones. The 15 and the 15 Plus now have a thinner border screen, which is really good compared to what they were given last year. They have a 2000 nits peak brightness, which is so far the highest brightness you can ever see on a smartphone yet. They have better color options, and looking at Apple color options, what they've done for their color options is now much more better, because and their former color options, they often just give boring colors, but now they've now done something much more better by giving better color options of pink, yellow, blue, green, and black. And last but not the least, the newest feature they've added to the 15 and the 15 Plus is actually the new dynamic island, which is really impressive compared to what they gave in the 14 and the 14 Plus. The design of the iPhones, especially for the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, have now been upgraded equally. The 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max now have titanium design on them, and the titanium design on them is a grade 5 titanium, which is an alloy of titanium, but is actually stronger than titanium itself. And one of the best things about this titanium alloy that is being added to the iPhone is that it's also, coincidentally or more like that what Apple planned, it's also the same type of iron that's also on the Mars rover that is also in Mars, which is something you can't expect to just be normal, because on a normal note, iPhones are often strong because of how well they're done, their ceramic screen, water dust resistant. They're often good at that point, but now they are now making sure that the back of the phones are also good and great, so that we can still experience much more safety on our phones as we are using it. They've also given a better chip. So they've upgraded chip to the A17 chip Pro, and not like any other chip name like the A16. Now they've added a Pro to the chip, and the Pro they've added to the chip now makes it much more powerful than the A16 that was released last year for the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. The A17 Pro chip is actually a 3 nanometer chip that has more transistors than that of the A16. And on comparison, what they've told us is that it's actually has a 3 times faster core, a 2 times faster neural engine, and a 6 core GPU, which is actually 10 times faster than the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. And the best part of everything now is that it is not just the best on the iPhone lineup, but also still the best so far on smartphones lineup, because the nearest competitor to them is Samsung, and Samsung's chip is not just as advanced as that of the A17 Pro chip that Apple just released today. But what also this chip has done for a lot of things is it has also helped in ray tracing for when you are taking pictures or making more videos. So what it does is making it look more realistic, adding that flair of realism to it, so that it shouldn't just be like more like an animated picture on your phone after you've taken the picture, but making it much more realistic after you've taken it on your phone. And to make this much more useful for your phone, apart from the fact that it will give your phone a better peak performance, a better satellite connectivity, better data sharing, better connection to 5G, they've also made sure that it is also good for gaming. And it was only a special feature that they actually mentioned in the event. The gaming feature is now going to have much more improved resolutions, making sure that your gaming is going to be one of the best things you can have. And what they've done is they give it higher reflections, so your games look more real, better quality to images, water look real, eyes look real, to make sure that it looks more realistic, not that you are just playing any form of game, we are playing a much more advanced game. And one of the major features they've done to make this look more advanced is they've added some PC gamings to now your iPhone 15 and your 15 Pro Max. And one of those game is the Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil Village is more like a game you can mostly play on PC, because that's the best way to play it on. But now it has now been brought, you won't believe it, to the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. So you cannot play high quality games that you can play on PC, you cannot play it on your 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max thanks to this new chip. One of the biggest upgrade that was also being teased for a long time, which is we wanna say is a reality, is actually the USB-C cord. And the USB-C cord comes now to all the iPhone lineups. And one thing Apple have done to make sure that this USB-C cord is the big thing is that they've also added it so you can use to charge your MacBook, your iPad, your AirPod, your Watch Ultra, your Series 9 watch. They've done it, adding this to also all these products. So that means that once your phone is dead, you can just go out to only one charger. You can just charge your MacBook. That's one of the biggest things I was not expecting. Use a phone charger to also charge your MacBook, your AirPod, your Apple Watch, and many other gadgets that the Apple lineup cover, which is really brilliant, more than what I was expecting. And now for the biggest feature that a lot of us actually watch the event for is actually for the cameras. The cameras of the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max actually, I would still say more like still the same 48 megapixel that was released last year. But it's now when it comes to the software that you now know that yes, this is actually a bigger jump compared to what they released last year. So they've made it sure that there's a more like a reduced lens flare. So once you are taking the picture, there's a more space for the light to travel in at a shorter distance and at a much more concise distance to make sure that you can see what is going on, what you are actually recording more clearly, making sure your pictures are more clear compared to what you have on the iPhone 14. So your pictures are going to be, super detailed. So you'll be able to see detailed at nearly all instances, and you'll be able to see details more clearly for a different situation. It has 4 times more resolution than the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, and it has sharpness to images with a focal length of over 120 millimeters, which is so far still the longest focal length you can have on, I would say, a smartphone yet. And they've done this making sure that your camera is now customizable, because you can zoom at a different pace. You have like a 2 times zoom, a 3.5 zoom, a 4 times zoom, and this time you can actually zoom up to 10 times, which is much more clearer using especially when you use the macro camera feature. And since you can do this, they've, apart from the fact of the 120 millimeter focal length they've given your phone, one of the added features they've done is that you can also zoom at a 24 millimeter, 28 millimeter, and 35 millimeter focal length. What advantage this had when I first of all saw it was that it now makes sure that your phone, you can now have a much more customizable camera. So your phone camera can now be as customized as the normal professional camera used in taking videos for high quality movies, which is actually insane, thinking that Apple can bring this actually to a normal smartphone we all move about with every day. And one of the best things they've also added is the spatial video option, which makes you to be able to take videos with your iPhone at more like a TVD resolution form, so you can watch it with your Apple Vision Pro glasses later on when you are done using it. But still, a lot of things have been added to iPhones, but it's not possible for them not to that it made a flaw in somewhere. So they've actually made a flaw when it comes to the 15 and the 15 Plus. So last year the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus were actually left behind because Apple made sure that there was a big separation between the 14 Pro Max Pro and 14 Pro models and the other models. This year they've also made, I would say, more like a similar mistake, but what they've actually done is that they've just made sure that the 15 Plus and the 15, I would say the 15 Plus and the 15 are now more like the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max, but just with more like a cheaper price, since they made sure that it was the same price as that of last year's, which is pretty much still good, since at least they didn't increase the price more than that of what it was last year. And they just make sure that it's more like still just an upgraded version of the, or more like a new number given to the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max, which is something I don't really want to like about them, but it's actually still good. I don't know what you guys think about Apple. Do you think that this 15 Pro Max is actually going to still be the best Apple lineup phone? What do you think about the 15 and the 15 Plus? Talk about it in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the very next one. Bye.